Captain Insano shows no mercy.
Straight cash, homie.
Hold on to your butts.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Basement Monsters podcast. I'm Ivan Vargas. That's Luke Nettles right next to me, and the Packers win, going away. They're like just running away with it. 34-17, and it wasn't even that close. 14 of those points were in garbage time.
Mm-hmm.
So, it really was, technically, it was 34-3 with 5 minutes left?
Right.
So, yeah, this game was all said and done in the first half. And the Packers, congratulations to the Packers, 6-2. Niners dip underneath 500, and they need help. I mean, they just need the season to end.
Yeah, that's exactly what they need. They just need someone to hit the fast forward button and try again tomorrow, meaning next year. Yeah, Green Bay. I mean, like we said earlier at the half or beginning of the game, whatever it was. You can't just praise them because they played a depleted team, but.
Right.
Like I said, they took care of their business. They did their job. They put points on the board, and that's what you got to do to survive in the NFL.
Yeah, and it was like you said, this is a kind of a bounce back game for the Packers after just kind of a confusing loss last week against Minnesota.
Mm-hmm.
You saw the Niners for about a half a quarter get out, look kind of decent, and then all of a sudden Mullins just became Mullins, I guess, the backup quarterback that he is, threw a pick, and then after that, it was just off to the races with Aaron Jones, and then it was pretty much as always Devontae. It was the Devontae Adams, Aaron Rodgers show.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a tough combination to stop.
Right, then you had the mix of Aaron Jones' run to keep the play clock going, and after that, after they got up 21, I told you it was done. It was a wrap.
Yeah, oh yeah. I mean, like I said, I kind of called it at the beginning. I had a feeling, 34-20. I thought maybe those 17 points would be a little more spread out over the game. I didn't expect it all to come in garbage, but with Aaron Rodgers and a depleted defense like that's never a good combination because he's just gonna have his way and be able to do whatever he wants to do. And there's probably a couple more touchdowns that he probably left on the field that he probably could have got too. But it's like I said, you can't just sing his praises right now because I mean, that's like the equivalent of Drew Brees, Tom Brady, any of these old good quarterbacks. If they're playing a team that's just decimated, of course they're gonna make them look like the superstars that they are. You know what I mean? But can he do it in the big games? Not only can he do it in the big games, can the whole team do it? That's where you're going to be able to judge how good this Green Bay Packers team is.
And Aaron Rodgers on the night, 25-31, 305 yards, 4 touchdowns, 1 sack for a loss of 11. That, like we talked about that in the first half, it never became anything after that. The offensive line pretty much shored up the rest of the way. And Nick Mullins, I mean, he still garbage time. He didn't hit the guys when he needed to. That's pretty much what it was. He didn't convert third downs when he needed to. He finished the night 22 of 35, 291, 1 touchdown, 1 pick. But they just couldn't get it going. That's just flat. They had no life on offense. I mean, that's not that they weren't giving any effort. It's just they have no talent. They're so injury depleted. Like they're so depleted on both sides of the ball. Where's the talent come from at a certain point? Like, how do you match up talent-wise against the other team? If the other team can execute all this shit half the time and has more talent, I still think you have trouble with them with this night. But they hung in there. I guess you could say that they hung in there with the Green Bay Packers. But there's still a lot to question with Green Bay as far as the run because they were getting gashed. They were still getting gashed. The offense did what the offense did. Aaron Rodgers does what Aaron Rodgers does, but they were still getting gashed with the run on the outside and inside.
Yeah, no, that Green Bay defense needs, really, I'm surprised at Green Bay really leading up to this week in two different facets. One, I would have liked to see them maybe get some help for Aaron Rodgers, so it's not just the key in on Devontae, or maybe even try to get someone a big boy to fill up the middle of that line, because they're getting destroyed. Right? I mean, football 101, just punch the other guy in the mouth, and they have no answer. They have no answer whatsoever for that run right up the middle.
No punch at the point of attack. I mean, Jerick McKinnon had 12 carries for 52 yards and a touchdown. But you'll be like, oh, Ivan blew 12 carries, 52 yards. They shut him down. Well, no, they had to abandon the run because they fucking couldn't stop anybody. They couldn't stop Aaron Rodgers or Devontae Adams. They couldn't stop Aaron Jones.
Right.
So the Niners had to abandon a run at a certain time. But 12 for 52. That's not that bad, and like I said, some of the runs were long runs. They were gashed runs. So I mean, if you find, like I said, if Green Bay finds himself going up against a team that can run and that can answer the scoring quickly, but also can hold their own on defense and maybe get Aaron Rodgers off the field, I think they're still in trouble. Like I said, the Niners, they just had to start throwing the ball. Your team. Your team sucks. You're about to be down 50. You got to start throwing the ball at a certain point.
Right.
The run's not going to do you much. So, I mean, it is what it is with as far as that. But I just want to point out, although the stats say 12 for 52, they were still getting gashed.
Yeah, no, for sure. Yeah, it's a problem. Luckily for them, there's only one team that really has a run game in the division, and that's Minnesota. And we saw what Minnesota did to Green Bay. So, and now, also in that division, I just saw that Stafford's been placed on the COVID list. So,
right,
who knows how long that's going to affect Detroit? So, the Packers are getting some luck on their side. The Chicago games, I think, are going to be obviously the ones that are going to be able to tell you the most about that division. But yeah, that defense for Green Bay it's like I said, I don't understand why they got rid of Blake Martinez. I don't know if it's a salary thing or what, but to get rid of somebody like that it baffles me.
I think he was a free agent and he just ended up signing.
Yeah, it could have been, but
they didn't want to pay that much. I don't know why. The guy was everywhere.
Yeah, exactly. Well, they're going to find out. They're going to find out what kind of mistake they made when they get to the playoffs and they can't stop anybody, and then they're going home to sit on the lazy boy for the next 3 months or whatever it is. So I mean, but they have to do. I'm really shocked that they didn't try to get somebody in before the deadline there to help shore up that defense. I was really shocked about that. I thought for sure they would get somebody there or another wide receiver to help out Devontae, and they didn't.
Somebody to help out Aaron. How dare you think of something like that?
Right. Well,
how dare you think the Green Bay Packers need to go ahead and get some help for Aaron Rodgers? How dare you think that Aaron Rodgers needs help? Aaron Rodgers, Devontae Adams needs some help. How about that? Aaron and Devontae need help, but they won't go. They're not going to go after it. Dude.
Well, I'll tell you what's going to happen is Aaron Rodgers is going to leave the Packers, and guess what? They're going to go on a wide receiver binge to help the new guy that they got behind him. Mark my words, that is going to happen.
I could see that. They're all excited about their new toy, their new guy, and they're going to get all the receivers out, all the new shiny weapons for him. But he's not going to fucking use them.
Right.
You know what I mean? I could see that happening. I mean, I'm hoping that's. I mean, that's. Let's just not jinx it, but I'm hoping that happens. So, for me, as far as Green Bay is concerned, they got a tough schedule coming up. You got the first of all, you get the Jaguars next week, so it's. I could see another win. So let's say 7-2, right? 7-2. Then you go ahead and you're at the Colts. At the Bears after that. I mean, actually, at the Colts. Then against the Bears after that. Then you play the Eagles. Then you play the Lions. Then the Panthers, Titans, and Bears to close out the season. That's not that easy of a schedule down the stretch for them.
No, the scary thing. Oh, first of all, Don't overlook Jacksonville because that running back they got down there will gash Green Bay too.
Johnson.
Yeah, watch out for him. And then I'll tell you the other one that like those last 3 games, you again with the Bears defense. I can't wait to watch them try to stop Derrick Henry. And then oh man, they might be in some big trouble because they got Dalvin Cook, they got Mike Davis, they got Christian McCaffrey, and then they got the Chicago defense. Like Green Bay is going to be that man. They better chalk up these wins while they can because they could easily drop 5 coming up here towards the end of the season.
It's not even Chicago they got to worry about. They got to worry about the Colts and their offensive line and that running attack. The Panthers can still run, that can still gas you, and Teddy can get out the pocket and run too. And then you got King Henry and the Titans. The Bears are going to face them this week, so and we already know who the hell he is and what he's about. So it's going to be interesting to see that in the week before the last week of the season, last game of the season against Chicago, the game against Tennessee. Are they going to have that shored up? I don't think so. I don't feel like they will. They'll have it shored up enough to make me believe that they'll have some type of decent run stopping defense.
No, dude, this is
the postseason.
No, dude, this is like what, week 8 now? If you ain't got it done by week 8, it ain't happening. And I don't want to hear anymore. Well, we didn't have a preseason. Well, guess what? Yes, you did. You've had 8 games, real games. So your defense is just your defense. You just have to live with it at this point. And like I said, with Carolina, you're going to have a 2-headed monster running at you with Christian McCaffrey and Mike Davis. And then if you suck down to try and shore that up, guess what? Robbie Anderson's going to hit you over the top. So like if they start getting into these teams,
DJ Moore, Robbie Anderson.
Yeah. So I mean, if they start getting into these other teams that actually have talent on both the running game and the passing game, they could find themselves in a world of hurt. It may get to the point where like I said, it's going to come down to it for that last 6 games that you were just talking about for Green Bay. Aaron Rodgers is going to have to put every single one of those games on his shoulder because, other than the Eagles, I don't know. I could see the Eagles beating Green Bay, and it's just going to be it'll be a stupid, nasty, tough fought game, and they'll lose.
Right. A fluke game, kind of a fluky loss. I can see that. I can see at Detroit. I can see that too. And any team that has a decent running attack really has a chance against Green Bay if you could get that going, and you have a defense that could you don't have to like completely shut down Aaron, just contain him.
Yeah,
just keep him at bay. Like when was the last time we saw Aaron get shut down? Maybe that Niners game.
I would say if you could keep Green Bay under 17, you've got a shot. Yeah,
under 17 on defense, you have a shot against the Green Bay Packers. That's no doubt. I just feel like you're absolutely right about that defensive line. That's going to be the Achilles heel for them. It is what it is. If they can find a way to maybe, I don't know how you scheme that, but it's if they can find a way to get on the same page there, or at least stop the bleeding a little bit. You know what I mean? At least keep it to a minimum. Maybe 75 yards. If you can keep it like 75, 80 yards a game, I think you could be good. But if you get a team that with like a Henry, if you keep Henry to 75 yards, if you keep a Derrick Henry to 75 yards, I think you won. I think you won that battle.
Yeah, well, I mean, just ask the Bears. I think the Bears held him to only like 56 or 58 or something like that.
What was that?
No, it wasn't the Bears. Who was it that we watched? It was just like 2 weeks ago. He was on it. I can't remember who they played, but they held him to like 56 or 58 yards.
Pittsburgh.
Okay, yeah, there you go. So I mean that is the formula. Obviously, that's the formula for Tennessee. But Tennessee did get back Corey Davis off the COVID list, so they've got AJ Brown and Corey Davis, so they're a little bit more equipped to pass a little more now. But I mean, it we've seen time and time again though. If Derrick Henry starts, if Green Bay's letting Derrick Henry push 5, 7, 8 yards a carry in that first half, they're in for a world of hurt in the second half. Because once they start getting worn down, it's going to turn into 10 13, 19, and then the next thing you know, he's going to be running free.
It's not even that. It's just Aaron's off the field.
Right. That's what you need.
On the field, you know they can score if Aaron's on the field.
Mm-hmm.
Get Aaron off the field. Just keep him off the field. Keep your offense. I don't care if you're not. I don't care if you're out there for a whole quarter and haven't scored yet. Keep him off the field. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead and score. I want you to score points. But the point is to keep Aaron off the field. If Aaron Rodgers is on the field, they always have a chance to score. So
from anywhere.
Yeah. If you're any team, keep them off the field, but find a way to run the ball run right at them. It seems to be the thing that works. We saw a couple times today, and like I said, McKinnon only had 12 for 52, but eventually they had to stop running the football because they were down. So, and we saw gashes outside and inside ball against the Green Bay Packers. So if the teams that they got coming up and you know the teams aren't great, well, there's a few teams that are pretty good, and it's a tough schedule, but there's a few teams that aren't great. The Jaguars, for instance, but they have a good running attack. The Eagles, but you know who the hell knows which team shows up that week.
Right.
And then you got the Lions, and the Lions. It's a divisional game. It's those are always tough. And then following the Packers, Titans, and the Bears, like I said before. But you know they got some running attacks. Maybe minus the Eagles and the Bears. I could see most of those teams running the ball on Green Bay.
Yeah. I mean, at this point, my high school team could run the ball in Green Bay. It for whatever reason, and like I said, it's not. They're not getting beat with speed to the outside. I mean, sometimes they are, but I mean, for the most part, it's literally right between the tackles is where they're getting smoked in that running game, and that's going to wreak havoc because it does a couple things. It wears down a line, it wears down some linebackers. You all you need really is just to have a linebacker pause for a minute if you're running the play action, and the running backs right by him, or the tight ends making a cut behind the linebacker, whatever it may be.
You just need to get a reaction, draw a reaction.
Yeah, that's it. And I mean, just that 1 second of hesitancy could be 7 points.
Right, and it's like I said, I know Green Bay Green Bay wins 34-17, and I know it's weird me talking about the Packers and stuff, like trying to dissect what they're going to be able to do and how they're going to be able to go ahead and continue to win games. I could see, like I said, I could see trouble with the Jaguars, but I could see a win. I could see them beating the Colts. I could see them beating the Bears in Lambeau. So let's just say 4 in a row. And then Eagles and Lions. One of those games, the Packers are going to lay an egg. I feel like one of those games is going to be a trap game, and the Packers are going to lay an egg. Now the Panthers are going to be tough. I can see them winning, and then it comes down to the Titans and the Bears and at the Bears. And when it comes down to those 3 games, at the end, the Panthers, Titans, and Bears, do you have enough? Do you have enough on that defense to keep those offenses at bay? Because, like I said, you beat the Saints, but it was 37-30. You know what I mean? Like there was really no defense. If we want to talk about it, like 37-30 is not going to get it done. No. I mean, it's going to get it done, but allowing 30 points isn't going to get it done, especially if the other team has a halfway decent defense that could slow you down, or is just better at a certain facet of the game that you just tend to be either halfway decent at, or maybe that's your bread and butter and they slow it down.
Yeah, I mean we all know the way to beat Green Bay. Obviously, smack Aaron around a little bit. If you can't do that, your next best step, just double Adams. Make one of these. Today, Valdez Scantling catches 2 touchdowns. Whoop-de-doo. He probably hasn't done that all season. So I mean, and then the other guys, the St. Browns and the other guys that they have on that team, they're not nowhere near the threat that Adams is. But if you could stop Green Bay's run game, and if you can't, then just next best thing, double Adams. Make Rodgers get outrun, make him uncomfortable in that pocket. Chase him, knock him down a little bit.
He's still Aaron Rodgers, but he's not the Aaron of old. So I agree with you. I agree. Start getting him out of the pocket a little more.
Yeah,
maybe he takes a shot and stops doing that. Maybe, but
right.
As far as I'm concerned, he's going to go ahead and challenge you regardless.
Yeah.
You know, and it's just the competitor that he is, the guy the man that he is, the football player that he is. He's going to challenge you. So if you're going to go ahead and get him flushed out of the pocket, you got to make sure you get hands on him. You have to get hands on him some way, somehow. I know sometimes they don't get home. I know sometimes blitzes don't always get home. I know sometimes the rush doesn't always get home, but like that has to be a part of it. Like I understand what it is, but at a certain point, I don't want to hear no fucking excuse. Like we got to put him on his ass.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, yeah, just get him flustered. Even if you don't hit him, bump into him, whatever. Get him with some happy feet. Get his head having to do like left and right. Just double check and see who's around.
Mess with him.
Right, exactly. Yeah, I mean that's what it is. I mean we keep saying that, but I mean that's you do that to any team's quarterback, and you're going to fluster them. But this guy for sure, because of how lethal he can be if he gets time to pick you apart. But yeah, I mean, I think that I'm going to say, how many games do they have left on their schedule?
What was it?
Is it 8?
It's yeah, but no. Yeah, eight.
So I'm gonna go out there on the limb. I'm gonna say they're gonna go 4-4 over these next 8 games.
I can see 4-4 for the Packers if they can't stop that. If they can't stop the run,
Especially those last 3.
Aaron can't do it all on his own.
Aaron
can't do it all on his own. He can and he can't. Like you saw how that train derailed last season.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't have enough at the end, and you're already depleted. You've already had injuries. You already struggled on defense. Like that's the last thing you want is to come, get to the NFC Championship again and just show up gassed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't even think they make it there. I mean, I think it's going to be a real. Maybe with the extra playoff spot, maybe they do sneak in, but yeah, I really think they're going to drop 4 games in this last 8, and I think one will be the Bears, one will be the Panthers, one will be the Titans, and the next one I think is either going to be the Lions or the Eagles. I see them losing those. I don't think I don't even want to see what Christian McCaffrey's going to do to that defense. Like if all these guys that are, McKinnon, if he's gashing them for 52, and let's say the Niners were up 17-6 or something like that, and then they get a heavy dose of McKinnon, how many yards do they give up then? He could have been over 100, 150 yards. So I don't even want to see what Henry and McCaffrey are going to do to that Green Bay defense, because it's not going to be pretty.
Yeah, I agree. It's going to be interesting to see. The Green Bay Packers have to really figure out how they're going to go ahead and shore up that defensive front, because it's been gashed for a few weeks now. It's been gashed in big games, and in order to win in the playoffs, you got to run the ball and stop the run, and that's they could do one of those things. They could do one of those things, but you need the complement of both of them in order to go far. All right, dude, we're gonna get out of here, man. I'm tired of shit. Man, we need to get a better game. Where's the flex?
Right.
Flex a better game in here. When was the last good game we've watched?
Well, the Monday night game would have been the best one, but for Thursday.
Yeah, but what am I talking about? The Monday night game.
Yeah,
probably had to be the best one. The Thursdays, I think, where we've been getting lame ducks.
Right. Yeah, well, with this Sunday, we got some good matchups. So.
Yeah, tune in Sunday, guys. We got some good matchups coming up. Bears and Titans, and then we got Ravens Colts. There's a bunch of good games coming up on Sunday. We'll be bringing all those to you guys come 11:10 Sunday morning. All right, guys, I'm out of here. I'm done. I want to go take a nap. A long nap. Wake up around just in time for Sean and Maya in the morning. That's Sports Zone Chicago. But all right, dude, man. I'll see you later, guys. For Luke Nettles, I'm Ivan Vargas. This has been the Basement Monsters podcast on Sports Zone Chicago.